What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Rouslin 3 Ball here on AwesomeMode.com's YouTube channel. I'm your host for this little short form video, Jason Rouslin. You can find me on Twitter at DFSGolfer23 if you want to chat with me, ask me some questions about the video, or just really anything else. So I'm here. It is Tuesday and just got some incredibly fantastic news that the PGA Tour has signed a multi-year sponsorship, marketing, branding deal with DraftKings. So a great day for DFS golf for people who've been following. Some really cool things to come out of it. So head in and check that out. Check out those stories if you haven't seen it. But this week we are focusing on the FedEx St. Jude. Well, it's really the Invitational. It's really not a classic anymore. It used to be the classic, and we're going to learn about that here in a minute. But for all of you that are familiar with the PGA Tour, we're going to say that it's the FedEx St. Jude Classic for at least the first little bit until we go on and explain a little bit what's happening. Also, we don't have that much time left in the regular PGA Tour season. We've, of course, got the fall swing and such, but not too many weeks left, just about 5 tournaments. So definitely want to get your fix in before the big tournaments go away. So without further ado, again, FedEx St. Jude Classic. It's really the now FedEx St. Jude Invitational because when the PGA Tour revamped their schedule and condensed all the majors and took away one of the playoff events, FedEx really kind of got upset about that and said, hey, that's where we get a ton of our marketing. So in relation to that, or in some type of communication between them, or negotiation, I should say. That's the word I was looking for. I'm sorry, apologize. Negotiations. FedEx said, hey, look, we want a tournament in Memphis, the FedEx St. Jude Classic, that we want it to now become an invitational, and we want the best players in the world here so that we have all of our eyes on FedEx for at least that 1 week that we used to get. So here it is. Nothing else is really changing about anything going on. Looks like the Detroit Golf Club. That's not it. I don't know why that's even in there. It's TPC South winds this week. Par 70 measuring 7,300 yards or just shy of it. The course has been the host of the event for almost 30 years. I think this might even be the 30th anniversary, so that's why it's getting the invitational status. Again, it is a WGC event, as you see there in the logo, so top 50 in the world are here to compete, except for Ricky Tiger and I think 1 or 2 others, but not many. DraftKings is pricing up their sponsorship deal. It looks like $200,000 to first place for a non-major. That's pretty good. $800K guaranteed, a $10 buy-in there. FanDuel's top prize is $30K this week for a $9.99 buy-in. So let's learn about the players. Got a little dual picture there of Dustin Johnson. One of them came out really pixely. I didn't even notice that, but the other one's quite good. Dustin Johnson actually is the defending champion of the event. He won the Classic last year. Actually won it by 6 over Andrew Putnam, who's also in this field. And then he beat JB Holmes by 4 more. So the third place guy was only 10 strokes back of DJ. That's pretty remarkable. We don't see that very often in a PGA Tour event. So anyways, FanDuel, $12,000 for DJ, $11,400 on DraftKings this week. Recent form, though, has been very poor for DJ. A miscut at the Rocket Mortgage, a 51st at the Open, a 20th at the U.S. Open. So nothing really to write home about, and it goes to show the ownership has come down. It might make an interesting play here this week with the ownership being so low. In fact, his last really good tournament was the last no-cut event. And again, this is a no-cut event. If I didn't mention that, I'm sorry if I forgot to. It's a no-cut event now that it's an invitational. Only 65 players are here, maybe just shy of 65. So DJ, the last time he had a good event was a no-cut event, the WGC Mexico, where he blew away the field again. So maybe that's a little something to hold on to this week if you want to play DJ in your lineups. Next thing I want to talk about is Danny Willett. And Danny Willett, man, what a performance last week at the Open. Came in 6th. And just played some really good golf. He's a former Masters champion, obviously, or Masters winner, and has had a very tough couple of years, but has bounced back now, and over the last 8 to 12 months has really turned his game and life around and headed back in the right direction. $7,600 on DraftKings, $8,800 on FanDuel this week, so pretty reasonable. Mentioned the 6th at the Open and a miscut at the Irish Open. His approach game is what's been fueling this comeback. 35th on strokes gained approaches on the PGA Tour this year, which is fairly good for somebody who doesn't play much of his golf over here. But interestingly enough, he's actually rated first in approach proximity from 150 to 175 yards, which is a big time approach proximity this week. Golfers are going to see a ton of shots from that distance. So certainly something to look at with Danny Willett this week. Last guy we're going to talk about is Corey Conners. And Corey Conners is a PGA Tour winner that Monday qualified into the Valero Open, which he then ended up winning. First time that's happened in quite some time. And now here he is playing in a WGC event because of that win. 6,300 on FanDuel and 7,400 I'm sorry, 63 on DK, 74 on FanDuel. Recent form, missed the cut at the Open, 46th at the Rocket Mortgage. But what I like about him is he's terrible at putting. We don't have to worry about that this week, really, because he's going to get 72 chances to make birdies. We know that for a fact. It's not only going to be 36. And with his strokes gained off the approach and off the tee and on the approach, those should spell plenty of birdie looks and opportunities this week. And for a guy that's 6,300, you really should be looking at him this week. It just doesn't take much for him to pay his salary off. I think that's really what I'm trying to get across. He may not be a pick to win the tournament, but certainly somebody that you should focus on, especially with a guaranteed 4 rounds. So, if you like this content, we have, of course, plenty more. If you're not already an Awesemo.com Plus member, go ahead and use the promo code 3ball to sign up and get some percentage off of your first package there. And, of course, we have about 4 or 5 more tournaments. I'm going to be breaking down the model that I used for this one here in just a couple of minutes. So, go ahead and check back for that video if you're just done watching this one. And we should, of course, have a video at 2:30 on Tuesday. If you're watching that after that, we'll have a live show with Ben Raza and Nolan Kelly this week. And, of course, I'm going to be on the mic with Ben Raza tomorrow night, live before lock at 9 o'clock. So until then, everybody, cheers.